Alright, let's get started. Make sure everything's initialized properly. Excellent. Let's go ahead and look over our commands as well. So, French forces are going to be on Blue 4 with the United States Air Force. The Iraqi army is going to be on Op 4. This is pretty much one of those Saddam-era missions, 1991 Iraq, circa. So, operation here is going to be Op 4 mainly on defense, trying to defend some artillery positions and some tanks. Blue 4 trying to destroy all of those. And then there's, of course, going to be an end zone under Iraqi control in the beginning, and that is worth a bulk of the points. Let me go ahead and put a prediction up, and I'll also, even though I don't think it's going to happen, I know based off of last week, people always like me to put up certain polls based off of other things that happen. So 1 second. Alright, Blue 4 is going to be French. And we'll set it for 20 men. That's, yeah. And then the server hamster dies. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see how things go. Yep, 1991. We've got 2 artillery batteries and then an Air Force base. Op 4 appears to be spawning right there. And then Blue 4, we've got 2 different groups in the zone here. So big open desert areas here. I got to see where this map is from. I put the name down, but I think it's from a mod because I always love seeing sandy maps like this for my own versions of, like 73 Easting and all that other fun, armor-only style stuff. Otherwise, numbers for the operation today, we're looking at about 122. Again, this mainly appears to be some sort of mechanized focus here. I doubt we'll see that much in terms of infantry because there's barely any cover around, but Blue 4 and Op 4, I'm seeing helicopters on the Blue 4 side as well, and then Op 4 also do have some tank crews, but alright, let's see. Op 4, I'm seeing Gaz 24s, BMP 1s, Fuel Vic. Interesting. We'll see if they get into something dedicated. And then Gaz 66s, and then some regular infantry squads. Alright, interesting. Blue 4, we have a Pugo, Pew 4, I actually don't know what that is. AMX 30s, though, I do know what those are. 939 gun truck, so it's literally just a truck with a 50 cal on it. And then we've got some more P4s, and then some P4s with AA-52s on them as well. And then some with Milans as well. So a lot of anti-armor, but this appears to basically be mechanized versus mechanized. Looking at the individual point values, though, so by the 50-minute mark, there are 2 D30s at each of these artillery positions. Each are worth 1 point, so 2 points total over here, and then 2 points total over here. If they aren't destroyed by the 50-minute mark, Op 4 gains a point for each surviving D30 battery. If they are destroyed by the 50-minute mark, Blue 4 gains a point for each destroyed D30 battery. There is also a T-72 tank. 3 in total. I don't know where those are, though, based off of the map, but there's some additional information I can read. We'll find out where they are. But those have to be destroyed by the 60-minute mark. Again, each worth a point for Op 4 if they're defended, Blue 4 if they're destroyed. And then whoever controls this final purple zone by the end of the game gains 4 points. And if your side leader's alive by the 45-minute mark, which is the halfway point, you'll gain 2 points there as well. So a lot of points are basically in these artillery batteries and then those additional T-72s. So if one side is able to hold all of those, then, or destroy all of them, Op 4 versus Blue 4 perspective there, they're pretty much going to win the match early on. So this could be determined at the halfway point, or it could be determined by the end game. We'll just have to see how all the positions fall. I'd imagine, though, Blue 4 are just going to charge along. This is only... Yeah, this is only about 1 kilometer in AO, so this will probably be an earlier finish. From what I can see, the spawns are within a few kilometers of each other. Well, no, that's a little more than a few. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 kilometers here, and then you just have that giant desert opening here, and then we have some ridges along as well. So we'll see if Blue 4 tries to regroup their forces and push in, but we also know that there are some helicopters in play here, so Blue 4 might be able to rush certain positions as well. Well, yeah, we'll just have to see how things go, but this is definitely like a 10 by 10 kilometer map based off of what I can see. Otherwise, a few other additional details to read here. French are largely unarmored, but have the ability to move over open terrain very fast. Rather, the Iraqi forces have mobility severely handicapped, but they're more armored. Interesting. D-30 guns are an objective that requires a scroll wheel interact, but can also be used with what limited ammo they still have. Okay, so the D-30s have ammo. Oh no. Um, I wonder if they're the artillery version or the anti-tank version, but either way. The desert is largely barren, but has a surprising amount of cover as well as rock formations for infantry to use. The Iraqi army crew spawn with a fuel truck. They can then use this truck to refuel only one of the static tanks and drive it away. If it gets destroyed, they cannot refuel another. So that's why the crew spawns with that fuel truck, so they can then bring it to the tanks, and then they can use one, but they can only use a single tank. Interesting. French tanks only have heat rounds, while the Iraqi ones have heat and AP. This is to balance out time to kill between tanks. Gotcha. So basically, the T-72 has superior ammo with the AP, but there's only one compared to Blue 4 that can have multiple. So I'd assume this means that the crew is going to spawn here and then pull forces back, probably at the airbase, get one of the tanks, and then be able to deploy that. But again, this is all done for balance reasons. We know historically that this was a Blue 4 steamroll, but they've actually done a pretty interesting job balancing out this scenario to give Op 4 an edge in certain areas and then Blue 4 an edge in other areas. Also, with the wording here at artillery, I'm pretty sure these D-30s have artillery rounds. They're probably just prevented from immediately shelling, one of the side locations. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing another Operation Civil style. We did one of those for like a training rotation, but I could bring that back, and then we could have a variation of Wagnerites and French forces pulling out. There's a lot of theaters of war I need to sit down and actually work on. I've also been looking ahead on what I want to do for the next POG campaign, but I mean that is still going to be like 3 or 4 months away,
Now.
Number go up.
Neutron, thanks for the 48-month resub. I'm pretty sure that gets you a diamond badge now. Thank you for all your support, man. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Yeah, Axe, we did a mission on that, actually, and then the survivors of that managed to get out of there relatively unscathed. They did a really good job in that scenario. We shot that one GOS... Oh my gosh, what's that rugged one? It's not Nizawazgo, it's not Sambentane, those are forested ones. What's that really rugged GOS map that we use for Australian emu shit all the time? Oh, or our Starship Trooper stuff. It's not Leskovitz, it's not Gunkisley. Why am I blanking on it so hard right now? I can't remember. It's not Daraya. Nidejan Hound. Yep, that's it. That's it. Yep. Nidejan Hound. Oh, that's always a fun one to use. No, it's not the tropical one. The tropical one is usually Sambentane, but yeah. But no, it's Nidejan Hound. That one, no buildings whatsoever, just open rocky hell, and it just works out for a lot of fun, usually scripted enemies like emus or bugs for Starship Trooper. But regardless, we'll see what Blue 4 does. We'll probably see the U.S. Air Force deploy a squad or two probably within 2 clicks of the Air Force base here, either deploying north or south to probably target the artillery batteries first, then go into the actual Air Force base there. Hi, honey. What's up? I'm working right now. Can it wait? What? Just. Okay. No. Wait. No. Actually, I have to work. All right. So, with that, and hi. Hello. Bloodwind, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, everyone.
All right, let's go ahead and look at what the French have here. So Blue 4, we've got a combination of gun trucks here. We've got those AXC-30s here, which are these big tanks there.
Do they have stinky cheese, too?
No. Anyway.
Fromage?
No, they don't have any fromage. I'm sorry to say, honey.
No.
All right, so Anyway, this looks like one of their little command cars there.
Chicago.
French forces. We're not talking about cheese and snails, honey. FAMAS's, we got some scoped I'm gonna see
Fromage?
what. No, FAMAS. It's the gun.
Fromage.
I want to see what the magnification on this gun is, if we can be so lucky here. I'm trying to determine if that's anything more than a red dot sight, but I guess we'll also have to look at, no, it's an aim point, so that's simply a red dot. Oh, we got some other transport cars over here. Crewmen are going to mainly have handguns, and I'm looking at the AT. We've got some single shots here with some of these squads. All right, GLs as well, and then we've got that French light machine gun as well. At least I think that's the light machine gun. Either way, let's go ahead and look at the Blue 4 group down here. Are you good? She's just barraging my head with kisses right now. All right, Blue 4, we have...
You call Le.
Looks like we have
Je t'aime.
an OH6 little bird here, so only transport for like another 2 or 3 people if they don't
Oui,
include the
French.
co-pilot. But it does have the camera for reconnaissance. We do have some gun cars here with that machine gun, and just a bunch of transport cars back here with the French forces. So we have some MAT 49s in play, probably for leadership, and then they've got red dots on their FAMASs as well
Fromages.
here. It's FAMAS, not fromage.
Fromages.
It's not fromage, it's FAMAS.
See, now you're gonna say fromages.
No, I'm still gonna say FAMAS
You're
because
gonna
it's
think about it, and it's gonna be
FAMAS. Anyway, looking at the airfield here.
FRAMA.
All right, so they've got a little bit of armor to work with here. We got some RPDs in play, and then some standard AKMs. These are the GAZ 66 trucks that they have. We have some RPGs in play with some of the older warheads there.
Permission to abduct you.
Okay, one person giving you permission in chat isn't enough. We've got RPG 26. No, these are 18s. My bad. You know, I did see on the map there that there were Milans. Let me try to find those real quick. They're going to be on the cars somewhere here. I think I just glanced over them, but I don't see any. So either
Fromage.
they are attached to the vehicles themselves, or they're in this crate here and they'll pull them out, or I thought they would be like specifically attached to the vehicle, but I don't see them. I just see the AT launchers around here as well, but I'm not seeing any like default backpack statics either, so I'm just trying to locate those. Let me check the northern spawn as well, but I'm just not seeing them. Hi, honey. Thank you, honey. Hey, I sent you something for the photographer just to confirm the location.
And I sent you love.
Thank you. But just to confirm the time and location for next weekend, okay? Yes? That's my nose. Thank you.
It's mine now.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm not seeing where the those Milan launchers are. Bye, honey. All right, we got some bazookas in play for OP4 as well. Some static dishkas, a lot of static dishkas actually. And we've got some GP25 systems on these guys as well. Some RPKs with those 60 round scopes. At least I think that's a 60. And then I don't see anything else. I'm seeing no marksman rifles. I'm also seeing no red dot like PKASs for Saddam's forces, so Blue 4 have those have to be red dots then. There's no way they'd give one faction magnified optics and one faction jack and shit. Oh, we also have some Swedish M45s for some of these submachine gunners as well. Interesting. Otherwise, looking over at the forward position here, this is the mechanized group. So we have 2 BMP-1s, and we have some blown out tanks. Lovely. This is the fuel truck probably for that vehicle crew to come back. And then I assume these 2 BMP-1s are going to retreat because their stuff just got annihilated over here. Interesting. Let's go ahead and try to see where those T-72s are in this base. I'm not seeing them. Let's check over in some of these buildings here, see if we can find them specifically. Also, this is the multi-stage fire station. Interesting. I don't see them in the hangars anywhere. We do have a bear destroyed on the runway. Maybe the 72s are in here? No, no. Huh. Yeah, suffice to say, I have no idea where they are. We also have okay, yeah, this is one of the gas transports that they have, quote unquote, probably for command. Commanders, by the way, Jonathan's going to be commanding Blue 4, and Neves is going to be commanding Op 4. Just wanted to shout those out before we got started. Let me go ahead and look over at the artillery positions here. So we have a D-30 right here, and then another one hidden away over there. Those do have a little bit of ammo, apparently. We also have a bunch of Dishka statics around here as well. Look at this. Not gonna lie, this is actually pretty well built. This is all cup dirt textures with some sandbags stacked on top. Some remains of some partially blown out buildings, and then some static buildup, like that. Looking at the other position over here, we've got some more blown out buildings nearby. You've got the D-30s in their own little gun pits here that have been partially deformed. Again, love that. And then we've got some Dishkas all set up around here. Otherwise, I don't know where those T-72s are. Like, unless it's to repair one of these, maybe? But these are
Too bad I will miss Pog.
destroyed.
Yet waiting for the next Daisy to let Liru hug the furry.
That was a sentence, Iowa. God damn. Thanks for the 21-month resub, buddy. Hope you keep enjoying the ops. Hope you get a nice kick out of this. Daisy will be tomorrow. It'll be a little late, though, because I've got something going on IRL about an hour before we start Daisy. So I'll probably be back after a few hours. We'll probably shoot to start Daisy around 9 o'clock, which means I'll be running stuff solo. NT will join us again. Actually, I don't know when he'll join us because we'll start having Mass Effect ops soon on Fridays and Tuesdays, funny enough. Adjusting my headset there. I have no idea where the T-72s are. Like, we have 3, well, no, there's 4 blown out right here. One of them's just a different texture. So I genuinely don't know where they're located. Let me tab out and just check the dock real quick. Now, if I search 72... Yeah, no, I don't see a mention of where they are. It says that, I guess we'll just follow the fuel truck to find it, because at least the crewman should know where it is, right? I checked the hangars, but anyway, mission has started. BMP ones are going to pull back with the fuel truck. We just have to assume they're somewhere. Let me check all the hangars one more time. Maybe I missed them. But yeah, Pog, it will be tonight. I might update the document to have a few more new things, but I think I'm just going to stick with what I got for now. Because the AO is going to be a big chunk of territory. Yeah, I just checked all the internals here. I can't seem to find them. Oh, well. Just had someone get shot at over here. They're backpacking some of the Dishkas here. I'd rather just carry them all around, but that's just my choice there. No skulls on the roster. We got infantry running out. I think they're going to start running to the artillery positions. This is just your standard hold these positions and push style scenario, which I always do appreciate. Gonna go ahead and look in here one more time just to see if there's like anything hidden that I completely missed. Because I'm thinking, you know, maybe the T-72s are in the camo nets, but that's also not the case. And then over here, there doesn't appear to be any 72s around. But yeah, no, I really like this map for some armored stuff. And then how they built these trenches is also pretty nice. They used deformer and then used the wood bottoms and then carved it out with some dirt textures. Quite nice. But we'll just follow that truck and see where it heads off to. Anyway, looking at the northern group here, we've got Blue 4 in a large convoy moving out here. And then we also have another large convoy going out right here. I don't think anyone got in the helicopter except for a single pilot. So they're not going to try to do any cheeky stuff with that group. And then we have a single guy here left behind, I guess, to bring up an additional vehicle. But yeah, 2 tanks versus 1, and then that 1 tank, we still need to figure out where it's going to be deploying itself. But, I mean, those 72s are tied to the objectives here, so we'll just have to see how things go. At the airbase, there's a lot of internal defenses, and then we've also got some nice little ridge spots OPFOR can utilize, but, I mean, we also have those around these objectives. I'm a little worried that Blue 4 might be able to do... How would I do this? We could see Blue 4's northern group head to this position, engage it from afar, and then use this terrain to get up to it with the, you know, cover of their tanks. These units over here are probably going to struggle a bit more. This is where we'll probably see more so infantry versus infantry. But they've got a lot heading out there with it, and they do allegedly have AT, so maybe OPFOR will get lucky and be able to set up a position to ambush some of those vehicles incoming with Dishkas. I wouldn't put it past someone like Twig King to set something like that up, but yeah, just with this terrain, with all of these, you know, small little ridges created on the desert, I mean, anything can happen. I don't really have a good way to predict this one, other than, you know, Blue 4 has a bit of a force multiplier, but that could change. And then we have a force right here sticking here. I'm not sure if they're just doing reconnaissance or what, but I was under the impression that they were all leaving, but maybe I'm wrong. Do they have entrenching tools? I believe I saw someone drop one, so yes, I would say that both sides do have E-tools. Alright. But now it's just a bit of a wait and see, because Blue 4 is going to be spending at least the next 15 minutes maneuvering into the AOs. We already see that they've moved about 2 kilometers here on the southern side, and the northern side they've also moved about 2 kilometers. This group's going to be a bit slower to maneuver with their tanks, and they've got, you know, bigger trucks, whereas the southern group's going to be a bit quicker because they have a bunch of fast-moving cars. But even then, they don't move that quickly. But you can see this large convoy of them coming across the desert here. Did they top up their gas tanks with metrics or imperial units? You know, that's a great question. I don't know. But let's see. So it takes them about 10 seconds to get across 100 meters. That's 100, about 10 meters a second. So with the fact that they've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 9 kilometers to go, that would be 900 seconds, which means it's gonna take them about 15 minutes to get up there at their current speed. You can hear them honking as they're driving by. We see a little bit of a separation here. Jonathan, I guess he's come up to this position. He's looking around. He's got the little French cap as Blue 4 command. That's ridiculous. I think he's just trying to make sure no OPFOR are kind of rushing ahead with the BMP-1s. Neves, I gotta see. Okay, he just has a standard officer hat with a little triangle on his left side. That's cute. And then we've got... What? What? What just... How did a Blue 4 guy get up here already? The helicopter. No, the helicopter still ways away. Wait, so what? How did... How did you get up here? He's a reservist. So how did... I would think it's a bad TP, like what I did to Lolo the other day on accident, because I thought it was Daz Daz, but that's a weird one. I'm not gonna lie. That one, I don't know. Who knows? All right, real quick, let me turn something down here just a touch. Excellent. He rode the dune sandworms up here? I guess he did. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, so they found a T-72. So the 72s are literally in random positions around the airfield. Okay. So we're looking for random gun pits with T-72s inside. Because there's 2 more. There's 3 total. And I'm having trouble spotting the additional ones here. Wait a minute. Okay, because those trenches are, like, deceptive in the sense that you have to be, like, right above them to see them. But you can see that they're also digging other trenches around here. All right, so here's another one. Right by the gun position right there. And then that means there should be another one over here. Okay, so I wonder if the fuel truck, like, these are still usable then as, like, static guns. That's what I'm thinking. And we see that they've dug additional positions of cover around them. So I think OPFOR can use them as static turrets, but not as a mobile vehicle. That's only for this group to deal with. Hold on, looks like he was fixed. All right, he got teleported over to, I think this is Command's car or something. Or at least, like, the platoon leader or something. But that... I think he got teleported to the wrong group of people. He just got originally put in the wrong camping trip, you know? So yeah, anyway, for those of you late joining, here's the deal. There's 3 T-72s, each worth a point, which is cashed in by the 60-minute mark. There's 2 artillery positions, each with 2 D-30s. For every D-30 destroyed or kept, that's an additional point by the 45-minute mark. And then the final base here is worth 4 points. And then if your commander is alive by the 45-minute mark, you gain 2 points. Also, I misspoke. D-30s are cashed in at the 50-minute mark, not the 45-minute mark. And then the T-72s are cashed in at the 60-minute mark. But, again, Blue 4 is going to be spending at least another 10 to 15 minutes maneuvering to the AO. So, it's just kind of a wait and see. Yes, he was just an advanced scout. Yeah, let's go with that. But yeah, tomorrow we'll have some Zeus ops as well in the morning. Saturday is going to be wild. After this stream, I'm going to be announcing a Gears of War op, which will be hosted by Devour King. And then we're going to join and play 9 out of 10 hours of a Stillwater op. So it's going to be a 9-hour op. I'm a little annoyed, though, because they're setting up rules about we can't leave the perimeter, otherwise we forfeit 2 contracts worth of pay, which is about, like, you know, a few $100. But at the same time, if I see scoped AKs out there, I'm running. I don't care. Like, I'd rather take those AK scopes. It becomes a question of profitability. And then Sunday is going to have that 400-player PvP match. And then we'll see what might happen for the rest of the day. But yeah, then next week we have some other player ops starting on Monday and Saturday. Yeah, busy weekend, exactly. Also, Brig, thanks for the raid, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you. I can never find you when I want to raid you, but that's because you always manage to be wrapping up while I'm starting up, so hope everything's okay with you. All right, Southern group's made it a little beyond the halfway point. Northern group, I think, either stopped for a bit or those tanks are really just that slow. Looks like they're going to go for an L-shaped maneuver here and hit that position. Same with the Southern group. So we'll probably see them either meet up in this back area and immediately go for the Air Force base and the artillery position, and then just end on that spot. So we'll see how things go. D-30s, I agree, could be nasty, but if Blue 4 deploys within their minimum firing range, those D-30s are useless. However, you could see something where, like, one D-30 fires at the opposite position to try to cover it. But anything is really possible here. We're just waiting on Blue 4 to continue their maneuvers. Let's see how high this helicopter is. All right. Specifically, let's see if anyone shoots at him. I'd imagine the Dishkas might. I don't think the T-72s with their commander turrets can look up high enough to engage it if it's right over them. But I'd imagine... I'm kind of surprised we don't see a co-pilot in here to utilize the camera to look around to find the exact markers of these T-72s, but again, anything's possible, I guess. I think he's just looking out the window or just trying to play a bit of distraction. Otherwise, we do see OPFOR's kind of fanned out here. They've set up some outer positions to try to catch any Blue 4 coming. One of the scouts have also decided to set up right on the southern side to prevent anything from just, like, quickly maneuvering around, you know, up this little valley up to where they are. I kind of agree with that call, to have a little bit of rear security down there, and then over here, I mean, this is all open, so you can just inhabit that ridge. And then you've got a group right here to cover all this openness. You've got this group to cover that. I think for the terrain and where we see the open areas compared to the more, you know, defensive areas, OPFOR's actually done a really good job of setting up an outer perimeter. Their inner perimeter, we've got pretty much on-point security right here. And then an outer group right there to allow the BMP to bump back. A little bit of security on this side, and then a lot of ridge security right here. So I think OPFOR's main weakness is a rear attack from the edge of the map, but that's why they have this force right here to watch for that. Because if Blue 4 was able to deploy like right here and push in, it would completely bypass a lot of OPFOR's defenses. So I'd say OPFOR has a pretty good strategy for this one. What I'm a little worried to see right now is Blue 4 already doing a massive dismount down here. Driving already took about 15 minutes to get up here. If they walk the rest of the way, that's going to double the time. So they might have dismounted just to do a little, like, quick check on their bearings, but, I mean, beyond that, yeah, not much. They shouldn't dismount at this point. If they're really scared, they should have the helicopter kind of doing reconnaissance on their route. Otherwise, we're seeing more trenches dug up around that static tank, and then the tank crew is just driving north here. I guess trying to find the element over here. This BMP-1 is pulling back, either because they didn't see... Actually, no, there's no way they would have seen this force up here. They didn't see anything, so they're just going to pull back to hold some more defense. And you got the 72 just kind of looking around over here. Realistically... Blue 4's only 2 plays from this top position would be a massive flank around to then attack this artillery position from north, or to follow this ridge and then to come into here, because this is all open territory if they were to do a wide flank around. And I also don't think they'd have enough time with how slow these tanks move to even make it into the AO by the time a majority of the objectives are cashed in, which would guarantee an early OPFOR victory. Blue 4's in a bit of a pickle here with this scenario, because if they're too slow to move in, the objectives that start getting cashed in at the 50 and 60 minute marker doesn't leave a lot of time for Blue 4 to actually try to complete them if they pick a really large maneuver route. Again, we already have a little over like 16 minutes now that are spent. And that means to cash in the D30 batteries, that's another 34 minutes. So Blue 4, in order to really give themselves enough time to hit the artillery positions, they need at least 15 minutes of combat. Which means they need to spend 35 minutes maneuvering, and they've already gone through about half that time. And that's not including time where they could potentially get intercepted outside of where they want to set those engagements up. So I think the only way Blue 4 can really stay on the map is if they do this northern assault, and not in the map, but in the game, and then, you know, manage to take out those D30s and at least one of the T-72s, and then fold in and hit the airbase, and then hold that till the end of the game, because if they don't hit either D30 position within 50 minutes, OPFOR is going to win by default. So, I think in study, I would have given at least another 5 to 10 minutes for both the D30 and the T-72 positions, just to give Blue 4 a little more time to do maneuvers. because otherwise, I mean, Blue 4 is kind of, their hand is forced on where they want to move in, and Op 4 can definitely set up counters based off of those positions. So I'm kind of surprised we didn't see like an outer force come over here with, well, I guess at the same time with what, you know? Like if they send a single T-72 up, that's a risk. And then they only have bazookas and RPGs, which are short range, so they'd have to wait in the ridges for Blue 4 armor to come up. So I take that back. Here, for example, is a good spot to hide infantry, let Blue 4 positions push past, and they can hit them on the rear with AT, so that's okay. Whereas what I was thinking of was, you know, putting guys out here, and even though this is a pretty good Overwatch point, they lack the long-range AT to deal with stuff that comes in like this. And then over here, this is also a really, really nice ambush point. Though a lot of these AT guys only have RPG 18s. Never mind, there's a bazooka. Yeah, so if they just sit behind these rocks, I'm also a little worried because we're seeing some skyline in here, but, you know, if they just hide in little crevices and let the vehicles pass, they can just hit them in the ass with AT. Because as long as you knock out their ability to maneuver, they're pretty much eliminated. This would still be from here about a 3-kilometer walk, but to do that with their remaining time, I don't see it possible. Now, furthermore, this is definitely a suicidal way to do things, but again, they're just trying to stall the main force. So now it's just going to be a wait and see. But Blue 4, interestingly enough, has opted to dismount and check that area. Which I guess makes sense. I mean, this is the route into a massive kill zone, so you probably want to recon that out beforehand. So the question is, are they going to see any of these Op 4 guys skylining, or were they able to pull away? And yeah, Blue 4, we do see them. They're not in the ravine itself. They're on the little neighboring ridge, and they can use that to go all the way around. But eventually, I don't think they're allowed to leave the map to, like, make this little dagger cut here. So they will have to go down the ravine, either through one of these little thin areas or this smoother area on the side, which is why this is a really good ambush spot for Op 4. I'm just a little worried that, you know, maybe Settler was just spotted as he went around that open area, but I don't think these guys have a good view of inside of the ravine in the back over a kilometer away, so, We see Blue Force helicopter now doing reconnaissance of this ridge. Tanks are starting to go in the main area here. What were the final tallies, by the way, for points? Because I completely missed those. And I agree, the map is stacked in Op 4's favor in terms of the timers, so we'll see. That can change on a dime if Blue 4 absolutely bulldozes Op 4, but I think the odds of Op 4 at least ambushing successfully, mind you, one of these two forces, that gives Op 4 two opportunities to make ambushes, and Blue 4 has to then perfectly dissuade the ambush both times without taking any critical losses. That's tough. Usually what happens is, I'd say there's a 33% chance Blue 4 will blow through both of the ambushes with nothing, you know, lost. But that leaves a 66% chance, really a 33 when we break it down, of, you know, one of the two ambushes being successful. And then both ambushes being successful, I mean, that's also a possibility. But I'd say there's a 2/3 chance of at least one of the ambushes succeeding. Now, when I say that, I mean one of these Vics is going to get hit by an RPG. Is that going to completely throw Blue 4 in disarray? No. There was an Op 4 guy right there, and I think Henry saw him. But he's now struggling to see. And only 0.2% for the server hamster dying. Fair. Will it be entertaining? Oh, absolutely. It's always fun to watch a vehicle get smacked. Here's the thing, though. Pi has the bazooka. So now he just has to wait and then hopefully be able to hit something. The question is, can he? I also wouldn't be surprised if we saw a BMP-1 routed down here because OPFOR definitely knows that these trucks are coming. I think Settler just skyline, so now Blue 4 knows this jig is up. Pie's gonna lean out, immediately gets knocked out, and his AT is short. So this ambush has pretty much failed. The only success we could see in this ambush, though, is it is going to delay Blue 4's southern approach, and Op4 is really just fighting for time. We do have a tank coming in. The question is, will a BMP-1 also come in as well? Pulling that tank away means Op4 is going to be relying on the northern group to get this, but let me do some math real quick. So, I did just hear a tank fire. I don't think it was this one, though. But realistically, if Blue 4 is able to get the points over here, that's 1 point for the tank, 2 points for the D30s. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Wait a minute. The D30s are firing. That's what I was hearing. Oh, they're a little off, though. They might be doing a creeping barrage. They're doing a creeping barrage. And we still have Blue 4 crawling in. Oh, you silly gooses. Okay, no, they're just off. Oh, if that was a little bit more. If that was a little bit more. Oh, God, that would have been devastating. There might be some more rounds landing soon, but yeah, it looks like it was off by about 100 meters north from the main group here, and that's just the wind blowing it off course. Damn. But yeah, as soon as I saw the casings by the D30 shells, I immediately knew what was up. Depso, though, if he can get Twig to accurately tell him where those rounds went, he could make adjustments. But yeah, we see the 4 shells spent right there. I don't see any shells spent over here. He's making some tweaks. Oh, he fired that early. That or it wasn't adjusted in time, and then this D30 got flipped as it fired around. I'm going to be honest, if that D30 perfectly hits where it needs to, Blue 4 is it's going to be over before it even begins, in all honesty, but it looks like this one's going to be off. And I think Blue 4 knows they're under artillery threat, so they really need to mount up and start, you know, dislocating. Or displacing would be a better term there. Not gonna lie, I am rooting for one of those D30 shells to hit right in the middle of a Blue 4 formation and cause a mass cas. That would be epic. But artillery at this range, the wind is going to blow it around, and you're probably not going to see a lot of success there. But we do see that a lot of Op4 is starting to maneuver around. The tank will be getting on target as well. Again, this is a stalling game. So if they can stall Blue 4 from even getting to the D30 positions, it's a success. And points will start being cashed in. Oh! Oh! So close. Technically at the 53-minute mark here for the 8 minutes of safe start, and then that's time for the side commander still being alive. So both sides will probably get a free 2 points there, but then, you know, 5 minutes later and then 10 minutes later, no, 5 and 15 minutes later, the other cash-ins are. Until that final cash-in point, I mean, that's still another 34 minutes away. We're halfway through there. Blue 4 starting to get in position, but a lot can happen in 30 minutes. But at the same time, I mean, this southern group is at least 3 kilometers away from the purple zone, and one of the artillery positions, the northern group, also 3 kilometers away, but it's got a lot less resistance to work with. So what we'll probably see is Op4 pull a lot of their forces to the south to delay this group. This Blue 4 group, with that armored support, is going to be able to get their foot in the door on this artillery position, and then it's just going to be a fight for the purple zone at the end. OPFOR will probably be up 1 or 2 points for the collection of D30s and T-72s that haven't been destroyed, but that difference is going to be made by the 4 points in the Iraqi Air Force Base. That's what I'm going to predict right now. We could see something change, but one of 2 scenarios that could happen is Blue 4 can evenly trade with OPFOR here, but that Northern Force is the one that bulldozes to the airfield. Even if OPFOR annihilates the Blue 4 group here, if OPFOR relinquish control of this position, and then this position gets wiped, that means Blue 4 can still win. And then if Blue 4 just bulldozes past the Southern group, then it's kind of clear who's going to win at that point. What I'm trying to say is OPFOR needs to win this fight here decisively. And they also need to stall out... Well, there's 2 points OPFOR can win here. They can stall out this northern group and prevent them from scoring anything on that northern artillery position. If they do that, OPFOR wins by default. If OPFOR can also hold a solid defense on the southern group, even if they lose that northern position, if they can then pull back with a number advantage and then hold the Iraqi base, they'll also win by default. But it's more likely that Blue 4 is either going to do a nasty steamroll here because they've got, you know, red dots. They've got a little... Actually, OPFOR have the body armor. I'm also seeing it on Blue 4 here, too. But I'm hoping that OPFOR tank can be a bit useful, you know? But Blue 4 are definitely the ones that are going to have to be a little more effective here after their maneuvers. Otherwise, it's going to be over. I do appreciate that OPFOR did try to box them in with artillery. It just wasn't successful, unfortunately. Based off of what I saw, I think each D30 only had 4 rounds. So that means 16 artillery rounds total. And we still see them trying to walk artillery rounds on that original position, but it's just not enough. All right, we just saw a Milan launch, and that hit the tank. At least I thought it hit the tank. So yeah, the Milans were in the vehicles already. Gun might be disabled because it's looking down. I'm going to be honest, though. You don't want to be turning around like this and showing your engine. Wow. I'm surprised it took a rear hit and didn't take the engine out. So that second one took out the commander gun as well, but it's still driving. Damn. So they got 2 of the spent tubes there. And it looks like they had a little bit of backblast that they were dealing with now. But yeah, kind of surprised that didn't just outright kill the 72. Alright, machine gun cars pushed up. They're taking some GL rounds, though, so the gunner gets away from the vehicle. Really good GP25 rounds we're seeing across where Blue 4 were, but now they're folding into the ridge to get a little bit better cover. RPG fired. It looks like that was an RPG-18 trying to hit the vehicle, but that was a miss. At this range, though, I mean, yeah, an RPG-18, it's tough to get that hit. Oh, no, these could be the RPG-7 gunners. My bad. Just based off of the sound of the rocket going by. It's because it's one of the older RPG rounds, that's why. But yeah, OPFOR are in a pretty good position to kind of stall out all Blue 4 advance now, because Blue 4, they've got this ridge and then a massive open area, and then they just have to travel up this ridge right there. So if OPFOR can keep them stalled, and then just pull back and hold the final zone, again, that's where it's looking that OPFOR can do a pretty good job there. GL does a little bit of damage. Wise is up here trying to find an angle on some additional OPFOR players. He's got to be careful, though. This big, bulky aim point, though, on top of this gun, it really does block a good chunk of your screen, so that can stop you from seeing anything to your immediate right. But I do love how cautious he is on going back and forth, trying to put himself in a spot where if he does take fire, he can immediately, like, pull away. We're seeing some smoke grenades going out here, so they want to try to advance up that area. Do have some Op 4 on this ridge here. I think they're going to see that smoke, but it's going to perfectly cover Blue 4 as they advance. 72 is mobile again. Commander gun is still disabled, but the turret's working. Honestly, one more missile and that thing's dead, and that'll be the first point to Blue 4 because that is worth a point to either side based off of the 60-minute mark when it's cashed in. Jack Nomad, thanks for the 26-month reset, broski. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. I mean, they have another Milan already on it. It's just did they move it? Oh, nope, there she goes. And it hits the tank. That is a D-track. Tank panically fires back. Milan is reloaded. Another tube goes out. Tank's engine is facing the rear. Crew gets out. Did it miss? It missed? How did you miss? They're out of tubes. And the tank is now angry because the Milans usually only have 4 launcher tubes per turret. It's firing AP rounds up at him. Actually, no, with the smoke out, it's HEAT. Okay, so we have another Milan launcher, right, guys? Because otherwise, now you have a static tank in a massive open area, and you don't really have a way to counter it until you move up closer, which we do have Blue 4 slowly doing. Twig is trying to challenge Wise. Wise moved up. It looks like they traded evenly. Settlers on con, though, and Twig is now alone. The tank should have a spare track, so they should at least be able to get that repaired. That's what I think we see Nikita working on right now. Looks like they got the commander turret working again, and they're trying to do some basic suppression. I'm just surprised that last round missed. Not what I was expecting. All right, Wise is getting a little bit more backup to come up with. Meanwhile, Blue 4 slowly moving up. They're on the ridge positions that Op 4 were on earlier. And they are now within, let's do a range check here, a little over 1.5 kilometers from that area here. Twig is still holding. He's now pulled back. Nuzzy, I think, just spotted him. Twig is in a really bad spot. Wise spots him, knocks him out. Yeah, we're going to have to see a flank around to hit that 72, but the 72 is going to feel confident now since it's not getting Milan'd anymore. Twig, double tap by Henry. Settler will... Oh! Thankfully, Nuzzy just missed. And there's the double taps on those shots as well. Wait! I heard another Milan launch, and there it goes. That was a lot closer, so I think that was done by a team up here. Yep. So this was the other Milan launcher, and that is 1 point on the board for Blue 4. Because I'm like, I know they have more than one. I just don't know where it is. Honestly, I think the tank would have been better utilized as a massive flank around asset. So, you know, while you have the firefight going here, maneuver the tank like over here and then engage some of the vehicles from range and force Blue 4 to move on foot. I know that's a really weird thing to like focus on, hitting empty vehicles, but if Blue 4 has to maneuver 3 kilometers on foot under a constant firefight, they're not going to be able to do it. So if you just take out all their vehicles instead, you'll be okay. I think this is from the Ace update where it was part of their April Fool's joke where they have you can put balloons on them and then shoot the balloons.
Let's give them a warm welcome, shall we?
Amazing. They only have 3 Milan launchers left if they only had 2 launchers. Yeah, so 4 per. You gotta also understand, though, as the firefight continues, OPFOR's probably gonna lose RPG-18s and RPG-7s. I know Twig King had an RPG-18 on him, so someone can just take that and use it. Wise is also looting his ass for, for his gun as well. But yeah, furthermore, you have the AMXs up here, and those are going to be a better match for the remaining T-72s that are up here. Though, it looks like they're already changing a track on one of the tanks. So I don't know if a 72 got a long-range shot. It looks like it did. But we also see that the vehicle is partially damaged here, so it's firing up here. But it's also taking fire. Yeah, I don't know what he's hitting, but all right, second T-72 is down. That is now 2 points on Blue 4. There is one third and final tank. I doubt that one's going to be engaged over here. And then we still have those 4 D-30s, as long as OPFOR hasn't accidentally booped them anywhere. We could still have a few artillery rounds remaining in these D-30s as well. But mathematically, if Blue 4 is able to get 4 out of the 6 of those units destroyed, which, I mean, now we just have these 2 D-30s right here, that's going to put it at, well, no, it was 7 total. 4 D-30s and 3 T-72s, so actually, no, it still stands. If Blue 4 gets these 2 D-30s, then mathematically they'll be up a point. But all the more reason for that final purple zone to be worth so much. I always love how there's a 12.7 bullet that just gets pulled out with that right there. But now it's just a stalling game. If OPFOR can successfully stall Blue 4 and then hold the final airbase, then they're good. But now it won't be a total victory because Blue 4 has... Well, okay, hold on. If Blue 4 is unable to destroy one more D-30... or that final T-72, that means OPFOR will get 5 points. So even if Blue 4 takes the final position, that's worth 4 points. OPFOR will win. So now the northern group here just has to stop Blue 4 from hitting either of these D-30s, and that is going to be cashed in at the 58-minute mark, which is 10 minutes. And then we have these infantry guys pushing up ahead right here, but we do have this entire group. No way. Oh, it goes over, and then the 50 cal takes him out. I thought he had it. I thought he had it. Someone grab his RPG. Flyer pulling out an RPG-18. He backblasts Phobos. It's way short. GL goes out. Also hits literally the same exact spot that the RPG-18 hit. They're out of range. And that 50 cal is a 50 cal. I mean, technically, Twig, you did have friendlies behind you. Where'd you die? You died right here. Yeah, so the friendlies were over here, which, I mean, is technically behind you, but, not really. So yeah, I can see these Blue 4 guys stalling, getting stalled the entire game right there till OPFOR pulls back to hold this zone. So now it's really just a matter of can the northern OPFOR group prevent either of the D-30 batteries from getting destroyed. What worries me is the guns are pointing up, so technically a tank could snipe these by hitting the top of the turret. If these were lowered, OPFOR would be in a better position, but if I see a freaking ACX snipe this D-30 battery by hitting the turret and disabling it or even destroying it, then that's just an oof. And here, a little bit of red on red to brighten your day. Looks like one of those teams was successful, though. These guys were able to destroy one of those transport trucks, thus slowing the force, but we do have these tanks moving up to support the infantry. The D-30s got glitched. Oof. I gotta know if that's an ace interaction or something. I heard a bazooka launch. We see that it was just short. They're also firing 50 cal at it. I wonder if these Metis launchers, because we see the launch, the missile right here, they should be using that against the tank, not its main cannon. That looks like it was just short. I don't know. We've got a little under 7 minutes remaining. If Blue 4 can't get in here to take those turrets out, then it might be over. The only other way Blue 4 can then score a point is if they find and eliminate that third D30, not D30, T-72, which is guarding the second D30 position. Does this guy have a balloon tied to him, or is it tied? Oh, it's tied to that one body. That's cute. Manco firing into this position here. Flip and Rick moving up. One grenade. One grenade. He tried to noob tube him point blank. Here's the grenade. It goes way over, though. Do these balloons pop? Yes, they do. All right, he gets double tapped. Manco takes a rocket, is able to dodge it. Another grenade went way over. Another grenade goes way over. Flip's not ranging these properly. He throws some smoke, and he might get spotted right here if Delano takes the initiative. Gun truck moving around, 50 cal now firing. Flare tries to run back, doesn't take it to the ass. Good. GL goes short. Oh, Delano's gonna catch Flip right here. He goes down. Rizbo pinned. All right, both sides have their side leader alive, so both sides are now 2 points on the board officially. Which, I mean, that just means that cancels out at that point. So that means in another 5 minutes, that's going to be 4 points for OPFOR for the D40s. Which... No, Blue 4 could still win. I think. Trying to do math in my head. Why wasn't that just used on that instead of the infantry? Why not use it on the truck? Maybe because they're going to try to steal it? I don't know. That was a weird call in the moment. Fleer gets hit in the neck. Phobos can't seem to line up a shot on Delta. Yeah, no, okay, I just ran the math again. Blue 4 could still win if they get there. They'll just be up by a single point. Because the 4 D30 points will be offset by the 4 points at this base. And then Blue 4 will win because they've destroyed 2 out of the 3 T-72s, which puts them up by a single point. Phobos each ship by Rizbo. I guess Rizbo, technically. And then you got Blue 4 still stalling out by OPFOR positions there. Bro almost took his own head off by a grenade that he threw. That was interesting. Alright, just looking at the southern position here. OPFOR are pretty badly spread out. Blue 4 have a big chunk of their forces right here. I mean, realistically, if one of these Blue 4 assaults falter, then that would be better for OPFOR, because then they can just pull back to the final purple zone and hold it. Because that's all they'd have to do. Phobos wakes back up after that headshot. Delta a little overextended here. Sonic trying to find an angle on him as well. Delta trying to find a spot where he can basically immediately utilize that machine gun with its bipod. Emil, I think, is crippled. This is a good spot to throw some grenades. But he pops back instead. Looking on the other side, we do have some fire coming into this position. Blue Force still slowly moving up this area. Tanks harassing some of the infantry here. Some smokes going out as well. D30 still haven't taken any damage. It's going to be cashed in 2 minutes. And at that point, I mean, OPFOR can just pull back. Or they can continue to stall. It's entirely up to them. Delano gets overly aggressive and immediately gets gunned down for it. Had a meal, but that support was able to save him. OPFOR now firing in this position as well. Bullets are going over. Delta, I think Sonic was trying to hit Delta, but the shots were ricocheting off the top or something of the ridge. I'm surprised Sonic was able to see him from that angle. Emil now pushing up after getting his legs patched up. BMP-1 is going to be doing a flank around here. Will the tank notice? Because if the BMP-1 gets close, it could missile the tank. And that would negate a really powerful force multiplier. Delta now up here putting machine gun fire on these guys. They're dragging a body back. Trying to watch this BMP now. Tank still looking towards the objectives. Cash-in's going to be in 30 seconds. BMP is looking at... I think the commander's turned out to try to find where the tank is, but now it might be heading back. That's a bit of a weird call. Got a little fight for this rock right here at 2v2. 15 seconds. Templar, I think, is about to get behind these guys. And a FAMAS has got a nice fire rate. But Barrows comes over the top and gets him. Wikicourt's now moving up the other side. And that should be 4 points on the board for OPFOR now. Yep, completed by East. All D30s are still intact. So in another 10 minutes, you'll see the 72s cashed in. Wick firing close. OPFOR's immediately pushing up his position. But Wick hurt him. The fire rate of the FAMAS is superior to the AK. But Barrows... Barrows gets him. Wick tries to jump on Barrows, but it's not enough. There's the double tapping shots. Meanwhile, we still have a good chunk of OPFOR up right here. Blue 4 trying to disseminate down the ridge. Looking over to the south, OPFOR did a massive counterattack on Blue 4 forces here. There was a lot more guys on this ridge, but they're being taken out. Nubash trying to run up. He's getting engaged by Roofy. It's a handgun fight. But Nubass, he's dodging. He just can't help but dodge. As he's reloading this RPD, will he be able to reload the RPD? Whiteside baiting him out. Nubass finishing it up. I think Nubass just got held in place and then shot because he just started spinning as if he was stuck. All right, Goatland taken out. Oh, the juking gone wrong. And OPFOR, they're taking heavy casualties here now. Nubass wakes back up and knocks out Whiteside. Finish him. Oh, his handgun's out of ammo. He's throwing smokes all around. Roofy comes up. Nubass dodges all of those submachine gun rounds. What? What? And then Lieutenant Dan comes up. He gets knocked by Whiteside. What is this? What is this? No freaking way. Nubass running up again. He draws his handgun. Wait, he's going for the FAMAS. Oh, but he gets knocked out by Oddball because he stopped moving. Holy shit. That was incredible. Rufy wakes back up. Goddamn, that was something. That was actually amazing. Truly Saddam's strongest soldier. Yeah, no, I gotta give it to him on that regard. Oh my god. Alright, hold on. Tweaking my mic a little bit. Here, just configuring some settings. There we go. Hold on, my entire audio setup just got oofed. There we go. Alright, looking back at the rest of the fight here. Op 4 still have Fleer here. I thought he got shot by a 50 cal, but Emil just got knocked. He's not doing the double tap, though. He is taking fire from other directions. He's looting his body. Manco not realizing. Fleer immediately spots him crawling away and then shoots him. Watch OFCRA. I'll get to it later after the round here. I don't even know. I guess Delta just gunned him down. Yep. People are disconnecting probably because they're dying. Alright, meanwhile in the southern group we still see some shots over here. Those submachine gun rounds are going to go well short. Blue 4, I mean, they still got a good chunk of infantry here. Op 4, though, are reduced to 2 partial squads. Looking over here, we only have a squad and then 1 guy in the tank. I don't know. Blue 4 also are down a tank, though. Looks like the other tank pushed up and got eliminated by AT. Either by the BMP here, or I guess some AT shots from this group. So I guess Blue 4's only choice now is to just start bypassing, heading to the Air Force base if they can. We do have another squad right here. This is 5 guys pushing up. And we're going to have a bit of a lull again as now both forces are going to start basically posturing to head over to the, whatchamacallit, to the final position. Alright, I'm going to quickly go check OFCRA media, because I have a feeling what we just witnessed is going to be in there with some much-needed context. Jamera is basically titling it with the word bullshit. He runs up. I don't see anything, but Jamera immediately dies to something in front of him. We got some periodic machine gun fire over here. Multiple wounded on the other ridge. BMP still chilling over here. I wonder if the gun's still active, but if Blue 4 is able to maintain this tank, they can use it to bombard any forces that are still in the region. Some Op 4 elements are pulling back. That's 3 right there, and then we have another squad with at least double that over here with a truck back there. I'd imagine these guys should probably just mount up all their dudes and pull back to the final zone as well. Here, so this is where Jamera died. This is where a big chunk of Blue 4 died, actually. Good God, yeah, I don't know what potentially got him here. Maybe it was Nubas's final revenge. Who knows? But other people clearly saw him. There were 2 BMP ones. Yes, I have no idea where the other BMP one went. Judging from the large amount of skulls and the lack of BMP-1 icons, it probably got intercepted and eliminated somewhere else. Blue 4, though, interesting. Okay. They managed to come up and take out the final tank. Probably with a Milan launcher. I don't see a spent tube anywhere, though. That or the Blue 4 tank was able to come up and take it out. So that's going to be 3 points on the board for Blue 4, meaning the score right now is 5-4. The pilot landed in the airbase, though. No way. Rigel with an MP5. Tries to get RAR. Kills RAR. That is an RPD now for Rigel if he can loot it quick enough. However, we have other people starting to come in. Double tapping shots. Oh, no way. Oh, come on. That's the power of the MP5 there. I think all of those went into his chest, and, yeah, he just ate all the rounds. If only that was a headshot, but then there would have been 2 other guys. I was hoping we could see, a single man completely take everything, but oh well. Did the other tank just push up and get killed? Yes, it did. How did both tanks push up to the same area and get killed within a few hundred meters of each? Not even. Yeah, okay, 171 meters of each other. Like, if it didn't work the first time, try it again. Who here has those armor kills then? Because someone has to be credited with 2 tank kills. Sommer is, yeah. So this guy with his bazooka just took out both Blue 4 tanks. There goes that force multiplier. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know who's gonna win this one, because right now the score is... it'll be cashed in another minute, but it's going to be 5 Blue 4, 6 Op 4. Which means whoever has control of the final zone is going to win. Op 4 still have a good chunk of forces down, but they are a little separated. So if Op 4 is able to get this force back, that's great, but Nuzzy might run up. He does have a captured GP25, so maybe he has some ammo for it, but is he going to be able to utilize it is the real question here. Oh, he does see Dropper hard, so he immediately prones. However, you got Override up here that might spot him with that RPD. He does, and Nuzzy gets knocked. Yeah, at this point, they need to just mount up because Blue 4 is basically walking up to him. Nuzzy could wake back up, but at this point, mount everybody up and run to the final area. Because otherwise, you're just going to die here. All right, there you go. So all 72s have been destroyed. And that final score right now is 5-6. So whoever has control of the purple zone by the end of the game is going to win this one. Blue 4, though, we see that a few transport cars are coming around on this angle. They are loaded with a few guys, though. So we could see them all mount up and then try to move in from this position and come around. Interesting strategy here that Kajonovic has, putting a Dishka out here to eliminate anybody that is on the outskirts. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all right there. We've got about 30 minutes remaining in this match. I know Stillwater's also doing a little test thing between this mission and POG. I might jump in there just to, you know, help give a test, because I'm also stuck with an M16A1, but I might stream a little bit of that too. We'll see. Both commanders are still alive. Op 4 command is... Blue 4 command is dead, though. He was with one of the tank crews that blew up. So Blue 4, you never really want to see the attacker commander dead because he's the one that's coordinating everything up to, like, you know, the final attacks here. So this kind of leaves it to the squad leaders to figure out, which can mean Blue 4 is a little disjointed. We could see a potential 3-group assault here, but I mean, we only have a single infantry squad up to the north. We've got 1 or 2 squads moving to the artillery battery here, and then like 1 or 2 squads still around on this position. One of them's already starting to drive up, though. So if Op 4 just has a nice unified defense, and they're able to repel the Blue 4 attacks as they come in, we could see an Op 4 victory here. And for those of you that bet on the server hamster keeling over, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the server hamster is A-okay. Alright, you got some shots going on some of the remaining blue 4 guys here. I'm trying to see what where Nubass is so I can see his final kill count. And it was on 4, so maybe Nubass was invisible. Who knows? Alright, he was Saddam's strongest soldier, though, so... Probably just another ghost. Crazy how that works. Otherwise, these guys are just going to charge ahead instead of mounting up. Demovar and Lolo under threat. Lolo doing some bandaging. Demovar on the low ground. Will anyone check the ridge over to see Demovar maneuvering around because he does have a stolen bazooka? Oh. And Lolo is cut down to smithereens and quickly double tapped. Will Demovar come around after hearing that gunfire? Or are the blue 4 guys that are still here going to continue to be randomly cut down by organized OPFOR resistance? I don't know. I also don't understand why these guys aren't just mounting up and leaving. I mean, good on them for eliminating a few blue 4 guys outside of the zone, but at the same time, I mean, it's clear these blue 4 guys aren't mounting up and leaving, so, you know, staying here where the main fight's going to be more towards the north, that's always an interesting one. Hello from Jay's stream. What's Jay streaming right now, if anything? Is he doing more Tarkov, or is he doing some Arma? Or something else? Alright, Trapper hard firing at Wombat, but, I mean, this is just all to wait out to see if the other sides regroup. Explosives thrown out. He's playing Tarkov? Of course he is. Ah, nice. Alright. Ah, he's throwing explosive charges. That's what he's doing. That's why they're only going up a certain range. They're satchels. I don't think Wombat really needs to worry about throwing satchels right now. He's definitely keeping these OPFOR guys at bay, but... yeah, weird call there. Maybe he's just trying to keep them boxed in so Demovar here can get a few well-placed grenades and take them out. Gets a tough bounce on a grenade. The angle doesn't get anybody. It does knock him down, though. Demovar going to try to flank around on the other side. Blue 4, they got some forces around that other artillery battery, but again, OPFOR is going to be pulling all their forces back here. They've also stolen the helicopter. That's cute. Demovar gets spotted as he crawls up. He jumps off and manages to, I think, jump just as he lands to negate most of the fall damage. But now you got some other OPFOR elements coming in. Demovar could be shot in the back right here as this other NR player comes around. He does have an RPK. Another satchel. Wombat's dead. I don't know why you tried to do that, but Wombat's not dead. All right, the power of proning against the satchel. Okay, never mind. He's dead. All right, he just took bullets to the face. Demovar is also dead. I really don't understand what Blue 4 are doing here. They've lost an entire squad instead of just mounting up and joining the main force to push to that final purple zone. Looking north here, looks like 6 guys have regrouped on a truck. We've got some guys up here. They're taking some long-range fire. They're going to be pretty much suppressed there for the rest of the game because they have a freaking BMP-1 looking at them. This vehicle could bypass and head somewhere over here and then move in. And then the rest of Blue 4, we'll just have to see what they do. We have another Blue 4 player that was spotted and taken out. That was Fetty. Could still wake back up, but nope, he's a fresh ragdoll. So we just need to see OPFOR mount up in a vehicle and pull back to the final base and hold. And that's just one extra squad they have to work with. How's it going? I wouldn't say there's anything bad here. The only bad thing I would say is Blue 4 managing to get both of their tanks killed within a few hundred meters of each other in the same exact kill zone. And just not learning their lesson in that regard, but everything else played out quite well. The T-72 also going into an open field to get Milan 4 times. That was technically 5 because one of them missed. That was also interesting, but it's OFCRA. Of course the armored assets are going to be a bit misplayed. Oh well, what can you do? Alright, so some of these guys might be looting some bodies here. OFCRA moving up to double-check Fetty's body, and then Masano's just running away here. Maybe there's a car he can run back to and utilize. Ah, I see. Yeah, he's going to probably get in that one and just drive off. These guys are going to check, probably stay around for another 5 minutes after checking Fetty's body, and then mount up in the truck and drive back to the HQ position. But I'd say right now, OPFOR have a slight advantage here with the amount of forces they still have on the map compared to Blue 4. But that could change if Blue 4 rallies all their forces in one direction and then, you know, pushes on one spot. Because if we look at where OPFOR is deployed right now, all along between the artillery battery to the north and this position, and then the squad right here, look at where Blue 4 has multiple squads ready to push in. We have a group of 5 that could also run into here. With 2 other cars that could join them, and then these guys also fold in. We did also have an auto rifleman over here, Kajonovich. Did he get spotted and taken out? Because I thought his gun was set up, like, right here. Where is he? Did he move or did he get killed? Yep, he got killed right here. So Blue 4 were able to jump on his spot. So Blue 4 have a straight shot to the final objective. They can get in here and hold it. The only thing they have to worry about is that BMP-1, but... yeah, from here it should be funny. Fine, sorry. I just find it funny that there's an unconscious guy over here and just a bunch of dudes going like, huh. Wonder what we do now. Another interesting thing is we do have some OPFOR building around these multi-story fire station buildings, but it's technically out of the purple zone, so those don't really matter. So we still have these 2 guys. I did mention they're probably going to be pinned here for the rest of the game by the BMP-1, but that's why there's still so many forces around here, because they're sticking right here. Oh, OPFOR still have both of their BMP-1s in play. One of them's just a bit damaged. Gun looks to still be active as well, but that's allowing time for this entire team to drive around here. But this is a long way for them to then get into the final zone. I don't know, man. I think Blue 4, they should still have a Milan with 3 missiles in it. As long as that team didn't get eliminated, I'm pretty sure it's in one of these vehicles, though. Because they used it to snipe a tank. Technically, it should only have 2 missiles, though, because I think they one-tapped the T-72 right here. So, 2 missiles remaining, 2 BMPs. That sounds like a slam dunk to me. But, all right, we've got one group. They've stolen a gas, and now they're moving into this position. Some of them have stolen weaponry from OPFOR, so that shows that they have been in combat. And one is Oddball leading with an RPD. His helmet's been destroyed, but he's got an RPD and an RPG-18, so... we see that they're moving in. We've got NASA driving back with a Vic, maybe to potentially mount people up and leave. Maybe they think that this is the last enemy position. I don't know. But they might be feeling confident that, yeah, this truck eliminated everybody down here, and then these guys have those guys pinned, and they have stolen the little bird, so maybe they're thinking there's just nothing else really left here. Or maybe, you know, it is to carry their wounded guy. But Blue 4, we've got a second car now coming in. Third car is going to be a little close behind. We do hear an occasional gunshot over here. OPFOR crossing through the open here. Oddball spots him. Few shots go to him. Now we're going to see this garrison start to wake up. And there's a headshot right there on one of the auto riflemen, knocking him out. Oddball's going to get the flank on this guy. Gets him knocked prone. More shots going into his leg. He tries to roll away. Great grenade throw, catches on that back thing. He can't really move because he's stuck, and he gets blown up so hard he ends up partially in the crate. His legs got caught. Double tapping shots go in. I think his body got caught on the wire right here, and he just wasn't able to move. Watts gets knocked out. Another Blue 4 guy goes down. Another guy with an RPD for OPFOR gets taken out. Roofy trying to do some bandaging. Short-range grenade rolls all the way up to Oddball's position. But thankfully that the repair station was able to absorb most of the shrapnel. Watts wakes back up, quickly does some medical. Blue 4 has another group of infantry dismounted. BMP-1s are now moving back, though. We have 9 people in that BMP-1 and 4 people in that BMP-1. So OpFor going to have the number advantage here, but Blue 4 keeping a few guys along the ridge here. This is a bit of an Overwatch fallacy here. If they have a Milan, I get it, but it's just 2 Dishkas to fire from range. Not much is really going to be helpful from that position. Other BMP with 4 people moving up to the entrance that Blue 4 was utilizing. Real quick, checking some of the Blue 4 reinforcement groups. We have a group of 6 right here. And I think Masano is alone driving up that vehicle. OpFor, meanwhile, they're sending this group of 8 QRF up to the Blue 4 ridge to eliminate that support. I think Blue 4 is just outnumbered on every front at this point. Yeah, we still have the 2 up there, but everyone literally broke away from the ridge to head into this position. Watts, I don't think he has any grenades. That would have been a great spot to put one. OpFor lobs one over. It goes a little far. Could still knock him out. Does a bit of damage, no knockout. Guy with rifle freaks out and frags Killer J. A little bit of blue on blue now going on. Watts trying to sidestep as he throws an explosive satchel, and that knocks out this guy. Meanwhile, did OpFor know the Blue 4 vehicle is taken out from a bazooka launch? As now OpFor conduct their assault along the ridge here. Smoke's going out. These guys are now going to be caught out of position and out of the zone. BMP also here to cut them off. Banks gets knocked out by the coax on that BMP-1. More grenades going over to the Blue 4 assault group here. The other assault group dismounts far. They're going to be of no help. I think Blue 4 is too isolated now. Unless Blue 4 wins this main fight right here, I think it's GG. That group's cut off. That group is nowhere near a position to support this area. It is literally up to the outnumbered Blue 4 group right here to make some gains here. Even the guys in the far fire station folded in. The only way Blue 4 could win is if they win this fight. The numbers here then have to come in. Blue 4 is able to get these guys to come in time to assist with this firefight. It's not GG just yet, but it is leaning very hard on OpFor right now. Watts trying to fire some rounds on Horno there. Return fire comes in. Watts folds away. Wise trying to do a massive flank around right here. He is on 4 kills. Tries to find an angle on Sommer. Can't seem to get the shots in, but he also takes no shots as well. Sommer takes multiple hits. His legs are crippled. That's a really well-placed grenade. A little bit of damage goes on to Wise as Wise is now trying to fire at some of the infantry pushing in. Gets a knockout on Miguel. Herzog pushing his position. Wise folds into cover. Oh, he's got that RPD. Barros runs up. Watts tags him. Reinforcements coming in quick from the southern flank, but that BMP-1's coming around. Kerrigan tries to do some medical on Miguel. Immediately gets shot at by Wise as he's now flanking around hard. Herzog is going to get an angle on Wise, starts shooting at him. Wise gets knocked to his feet. Herzog folds to cover, and Wise gets knocked out. Meanwhile, looking on the ridge, most of Blue 4 have been eliminated. There's only 2 guys remaining as OpFor are pretty much storming this position. I mean, yeah, and then they're going to come along the rear and just blanket that area here. The BMP-1s come around. It knocked out Damon there. Blue 4 might not have any AT with this group to do anything about it. Okay, they do, but they're already far in the facility. Herzog's going to run up, probably double tap Wise. Nope. No, come on. Double tap him. Finish him. There it is. Watts about to be shot in the ass as he's doing medical. This is GG. No fucking way. Watts' sixth sense went off, his motion tracker, and he immediately realized he was getting pushed up on. That's why you never play with your prey, because some people play with those Turtle Beach headsets. They will hear you running up to them, and they will turn around and mag dump your ass, especially if they're given a fast-firing weapon like a FAMAS. Herzog gets knocked out in a crossfire between Fonz and Killer J. Fonz is going to come up and be able to get the double tap here. Great shooting. Kerrigan now trying to go rogue with some RPGs. We got 2 knockouts on OpFor here. Blue 4, I wouldn't say they have the number advantage. It's still like 5 or 6-4 here, but look at what's happening down here. This group of infantry is getting absolutely bullied by the BMP-1 and its escort coming in. This could still go either way, but OpFor still have a distinct number advantage. Time-wise, we still have 12 minutes remaining on the round. We need to see an Adriano, ladies and gentlemen. We need to see someone start getting a massive kill lead. Will that be Adrisip? He double taps a dead body. He runs up and sees a massive amount of blue 4. Audrey Sip, throw a grenade. Please throw a grenade. Grenade. You know, the thing on your belt that you throw. Come on, buddy. Oh, because they're all grouped up together. One good grenade to roll in right here would... I was about to say, is that the grenade that's going to change it up? But no, these guys are throwing smokes. Emil trying to come around with a wide flank. Audrey Sip's reloading. That FAMAS is going to be better. Now you throw a grenade. It's a smoke, though. Okay, Audrey Sip gets the knockout there. We need to see a double tap, buddy. Come on. Finish him. No, not you get finished. You... That's okay. Oh, God. And then Op4 immediately counterattacked. Fonz is dead. Watts is dead. It's Oddball. Oddball's on 6. He's covered in blood. He has enemy weaponry all over him. Cheeseburger finishes him. And then an AT shot goes over, knocking Cheeseburger off his feet. It's GG. There are 5 blue 4 players remaining. Well, no, with 2 more out here. It's GG. I'm calling it. Blue 4 don't have a way to deal with his BMP. Emil wakes back up, double taps Audrey Sip. It's still GG. Gregory comes up and finishes it. Those RPDs, man. They did a lot. I was about to say, please tell me you didn't just bad frag. That would be unfortunate. NT buddy, how you doing? We're, I think, wrapping up this. Op4 were Saddam's finest. Blue 4 were a bunch of French chuckleheads. Wait, no, Fonz is still alive. He just ran away. Okay. There's still only, let's see, 4 in here. The blue 4 guys all died on the ridge. There's 2 more coming in. Gerald, uh-oh. That knockout trade. All right, it's a wake-up war now. Blue 4 down to 3 in the zone. Oh, no, he just chooses to die. Never mind. 3 blue 4 remaining in the zone. 2 coming out from the outside. That's going to be Manco and Delta. What are our kill counts here? Manco has a -1 as a medic. That's interesting. Delta has 2. Pussy Slayer has 1. Sky has none. Tonto has none. Gregory has 4, so he's just looking to double up at this point. Kerrigan on none. Miguel on 1. Cheeseburger on 2. Summer on 1 with those 2 tank kills. Boss has none. Fact has none. And then we've got another group of Op4 reinforcements coming in as they're covered by Overdrive. And then you've got Kaiser and another guy out here. I think they're just changing, trading ammo here. But this is another 3 dudes that are slowly pushing in. And then Op4 side leader. I think he was in the helicopter, so he's landed that somewhere. And now he's just coming in on foot. Less than 10 minutes remaining. I'm pretty sure this is GG well played. All right. Are they just hiding in the building? That's great. Do they hear them, though, because they're on yelling? Miguel, please throw a frag in there. Please throw a frag in there. You will be my hero. Open the door slightly, throw a frag, and then just close the door and hold it. An RPG is even better. He gets him stuck on the door! I know, I saw that NT rated. There's the frag. Watch this triple kill. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Is NT still alive? Did he die? Op4 still suppressing. They're now going to slowly open this. Yeah. Alright, Blue 4 still have 2 on the outside. Delta's the kill leader of this group. Can he double up with his machine gun? Can he triple up? Can he get up to 8 kills? All right, Gerald's still bleeding out, but we've got 4 over here with another 4 with 2. So it's 11-2 in the zone. AKA Delta needs to kill everybody. Manco, I don't know what he'll do. He's on -1. But hey, at least there's only one potential person he can friendly fire here. I believe in him. All right, Delta and T-Light trade blows. Delta's running off. Manco still covering the corner. Cheeseburger hears the gunshots. He's going to come around and probably finish this. Maybe Manco can Ultra Instinct assassinate Delta. That would be funny if it was 2 of them left and he's still somehow friendly fired. Cheeseburger, Cheeseburger, Cheeseburger. Manco! Okay, alright. The fact that he dodged the rocket with a jump up the crate, I'm not gonna lie, there's your Ultra Instinct for the day. No way Cheeseburger throws a grenade and finishes off Delta. Amazing. Alright guys, that is it. We will be back at least for POG in 3 hours. I might be back in an hour though for some still water testing. Then again, I don't think I'm allowed to stream that, so no, we'll be back in for POG. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. NT, thank you again for the raid. Same with you, Brig, if you're still around. Otherwise, cheers, guys, and see you in a few hours.